Hey guys, what's going on? It's Dennis here. Just want to do a video. It's been a little bit since I've done a video, and just got a little message for you guys. This video is gonna be a little bit more chill, more laid back than the other ones when I'm usually going in. Um, I'm really tired. I should be sleeping. I should be eating. I got home. Let me see, like 2 hours ago, 2.5 hours ago from school, and just been reading actually. This is a really if I can get the camera. There you go. The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. It's a really good book. But I've been reading and just have a message for you guys. I've been thinking a lot lately about what we do with our time, what we're focused on, what we're trying to accomplish, and I've been having a couple conversations recently with a couple people, and the one thing I realize about a lot of people out there is that they really have no direction. It's like they're literally on autopilot, where they don't really take the time to look at what they're doing and what they're trying to accomplish, and they don't really have any goals. Another day is just another day. They wake up, they go to sleep, everything is just routine. They don't really have an end point to get to. And the message of this video is is about having a vision and goals and priorities in line, so that you essentially have a target on the wall, so that you know what you're trying to hit. And what I've noticed lately about people is that they're not really present. They're not conscious. They're not aware of what they got going on or what they're putting their time and resources into. And there's a story that I want to tell you. It's basically about this family. There's a man and his wife, and the wife is cooking dinner, and the guy goes up to her and says, "Hey, babe, I noticed that you're cooking, but you've cut off the corners of the meat that you're cooking. Why do you do that?" And she's like, "Oh, well, my mom always used to do that." So the mom came over the house while they were cooking and stuff, and the husband asked, basically his wife's mother, he says, "Hey, I noticed that my wife cuts the ends of the meat in the pot. Why does she do that? Or why do you do that?" She's like, "Oh, well, my mother used to do that. I'm not sure. I just, my mom used to do that, so that's what I do." So then the guy calls up, basically his wife's grandmother, and says, "Hey, we have people over the house, and we're having a good time, we're eating and stuff, and I have a question for you. Why does every time my wife cooks, she cuts the ends of the meat, and I don't know why she does that. She says, her mom doesn't." And then I asked her, and she said that you used to do it. She's like, "Oh, you know what? Why do you do that?" She goes, "Oh, well, my pot was too small." And that story's funny to me because it's like, here you have people doing something without really wondering and thinking why they are doing it. They're just doing it because they've seen it done before, or they think that's just the way things go. And the point of the video was to establish priorities and goals, and to figure out what are you trying to accomplish, not what does somebody else want you to accomplish. What does somebody else have in store for you? What are their goals for you? What are you trying to accomplish? Why do you wake up every single morning? What do what do you think when you get off that bed? What are you trying to accomplish? You see what I'm saying? Like, I think it's dangerous to have this idea where everything that you do has no end goal. You just accept things the way they are. Everything's just status quo, and that's it. And if you're not aware, and I've talked about this in my last video, where awareness is everything. If you're not aware of what you're doing on a daily basis, if you don't wake up with a purpose and a goal and a vision and a reason why you wake up, if you don't even know what you're going to do the following day before you even go to bed, there's a problem. Like, if you can see, I'll actually show you. I have a whiteboard on on my wall that I've had there for years. And the one thing that I've gotten really good at is being able to say, you know what, before I go to bed, tomorrow I'm gonna do this, this, and this in this order, and I know what my day looks like because I know what I'm trying to accomplish. And to be honest with you, work is the least of my priorities. I should be not even doing this video, but this is I like to do this kind of stuff, and it's what helps me become a better communicator, and it allows me to create content for my team and things like that. And it's so important to just keep in mind that there is an end goal. If you don't like your situation, the only person that can change it is you. Because guess what? The only person that put yourself in that situation was you. And I realized that everything in this life is an effect. If you get sick, it's an effect of something that you were doing or not doing. It's like bodybuilders. They get results and they're big because they did exactly what it took to get there. And you are exactly where you are in life because you did exactly what was required of you to be there. So at a certain point in time, you have to just accept responsibility and just know what you're trying to accomplish. If things are not going your way and things are not changing for you, it's because you haven't set in motion certain habits and certain thought processes and mindset to change that. You just don't hop into the car and put in something in your GPS and say, hey, I'm gonna get here, and just expect to get there without programming the GPS. You have to have a goal in mind. Like, what are you working towards? I look around and I see people twice my age. They're like zombies, just walking around. 5 years ago is the same thing as going on today. You look back 5 years ago and nothing has changed for them. And I look back and I'm like, wow, where's their awareness level at? Why do they even do what are they doing? They're not. You know what the problem is? The problem is when you focus on actions that don't produce a long-term benefit for you. That's what the problem is. Because if you don't produce a long-term benefit, then the only thing you're going to be doing long-term is doing the wrong stuff. And that's really the biggest problem. Like every single night before I go to bed, I know exactly what I'm going to do the next day because there's a goal in it and I'm trying to accomplish something. See what I'm saying? I want to challenge you to sit down and write down for yourself, not for anybody else. What are you trying to accomplish? What do you want to do with your life? I see people that they look at these cars and they're like, oh, what must be nice to have, and they just look at people that have success in their life as if it just landed or somebody knocked on the door and left the package in front of the door. That is not how it happens. Not for anybody. You don't look at a bodybuilder and say, man, he's lucky. No, he spent years in the gym. When you were sleeping, they were in the gym. When you were screwing around watching TV, they were lifting weights. They're not out there eating like a person who's not even interested in putting on mass or whatever. They got their stuff set. It takes discipline and it takes a goal in mind. You see what I'm saying? And just have that vision. What are you trying to accomplish, for yourself? Don't accept other people's mediocrity. Wake up every single morning with a purpose. Know what you're trying to accomplish. If you don't like your situation, put in motion goals and priorities and daily habits that you need to put in to start, changing the direction where your life is going. Because believe me, if you don't, 10 years from now, you can have the exact same thing. And one thing I realize is you don't appreciate how much time you have, or you don't know how much you've wasted until you've changed gears and you started focusing on something that matters. Like if you're just going years and years and whatever, you kind of have this intention like, oh, I want to get in shape or whatnot, and years pass by. It's not until you say, you know what, man, I'm gonna put my foot down and I'm gonna bust my ass and I'm gonna work on, I'm gonna eat right and all that stuff. And once you start getting results, you realize, wow, I wasted so much time, man. In 2 months, I put on 10 pounds of muscle, if that was possible. And it's at that point that you realize I've wasted 10 years of my life. I could have been doing this a long time ago and I would have been so much further ahead than where I am now. And that's the point of the video, to just, have a vision, have a purpose for yourself. Wake up every single day with a purpose. It has to be something that keeps you up at night because you're working on something that important. Something that allows you, where it's okay to miss meals, where it's okay to miss sleep. You see what I'm saying? It's okay to move your schedule around and reprioritize things because you have a goal. It's a goal. Like, this is what I do every single night. Like, I I haven't slept properly like in months. I've even lost weight. I shouldn't be, and I have no problem saying that. But here's the deal, though. There's a reason behind that, and there's a goal behind that, and a purpose behind that, and results behind that. There has to be something important enough for you to put other things off. Your job cannot be your priority and the only thing that you have going on in your life. And the crazy thing is, like, as you're progressing and stuff, you're I mean, this is not really part of the theme of the video, but it's a side note. Like, as you progress, your standards raise in all areas of your life. Once this becomes a part of you, and you realize, you know what, I'm not gonna waste my time anymore. I'm gonna focus on the things that are gonna get me what I want, regardless of what anybody else is doing around me. Your standards raise. You may lose some friends, or you may gain some, or you know, your association changes, and even your standards in, you know, how you spend your time, the value of your time. Like my time has just increased ridiculously. Like, I don't waste time on stupid stuff anymore. I don't waste time with talking to people that just aren't doing anything with themselves. I just don't, because I know my value. My circle's much smaller now, and even, you know, if you're a guy, you know, I think a lot of relationship problems stem from not having your standards high enough and just accepting something that looks, you know, appealing or attractive, and, you know, gleams in the sunlight, and you just, okay, this is, you know, she's into me or he's into me, and so we're okay now. I don't have to look anymore. When you have standards, you don't accept anything less than that bar you raise. You see what I'm saying? And as time passes, that bar should get higher and higher, and you should not be settling for people that can't jump that bar. Like, for me, you know, as far as women go, number one, I don't even have time for women because that's a distraction. But just even that, like, when you get to the point where you can, you know, look at somebody, say, you know, they're attractive and whatnot, but that's not really what I'm looking for. It's not what I'm focused on. I know what I accept in my life, and my standards are higher. You don't accept crap and mediocrity and BS from people. You don't have to deal with that low quality drama and the garbage that goes on with dealing with people that are not doing anything with themselves. See what I'm saying? Everything changes for the better once you change yourself for the better. And that's, you know, that's the message of the video. Hopefully you're getting something out of this. Know why you wake up in the morning. Say, this is why I'm getting up. I'm not just working to pay bills. Is your life about paying bills? Because if that's what your life is about, number one, you're super boring person. Let me just put it out there like that. But how how smart is it for companies to have people so committed to paying them? When you devote your entire life and you just say, okay, well, maybe I'll get to hang out this Saturday, Sunday with my family, but the next 6 days are not mine. It's not my time. That's somebody else's time because I gotta go work for them. You see what I'm saying? Stop and think about what you're doing, and you should not be spending a second on anything that isn't exactly what you want to do and that isn't gonna move you forward. But you won't know if you're wasting your time if you haven't sat down and thought about what it is that you're doing with it. See what I'm saying? Everything you do has to have a reason and a purpose behind it. You have to prioritize as a person, as an adult, as a mature human being. You have to assess what you're doing, what you have going on, and be able to allocate your time and your resources in the right areas so you can get the results that you want. If you don't have them, you can't complain about not having them because you're not doing anything to get them. If that makes sense. So just, you know, if you need a whiteboard, get a whiteboard, just write it down, or whatever you need to do, figure out what it is you want, number one. Number two, write down the things that you need to be doing on a daily basis to get the results that you want. That's number two. And three, create an action plan and just stay consistent with it and make sure that what your goal is, that's the priority. That's the priority. You don't say, okay, I kind of want to do this. If you kind of want to do it, and you're going to kind of get results, kind of. You see what I'm saying? The results you get are proportionate to the commitment that you have towards achieving your goal. So with that being said, guys, I want to keep the video short. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.